Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back to another and I presume final delayed video here on the EdWord. This is the video review for the latest episode of Tales of the Walking Dead, which dropped last Sunday, and as some of you may or may not know, I was out of town for a week and a half on vacation. I'm back now, catching up on my content, and I've posted a couple videos within the past day or so, and I think this is my last one. So with this video, I should be all caught up on recent TV episodes. So if you have not seen the latest episode of Tales of the Walking Dead, which is not the Alpha origin story episode that dropped on regular TV, this is actually for the episode that dropped on AMC Plus following the nature documentarian and the girl he encounters. So if you've not seen that episode, don't keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. This was a pretty damn good episode. I mean, it explored a man's relationship with nature and a total disregard for human life and humans altogether. Like, we had never seen this angle of the apocalypse before, with a nature documentarian living as a recluse, continuing to work and live as a nature documentarian, but following the life cycle of walkers and their habits and migration patterns. Then he encounters a survivor with a very familiar look, like Merle Dixon from The Walking Dead. Merle had lost his hand, so it looked like this. There we go, looked like this, and then had replaced it with a couple of appendages that had a blade or some kind of weapon for defense on it. That's what this gal had. She seemingly had lost her hand, replaced it with some kind of duct-taped structure, and it looks like she either had a bone or a blade she used to defend herself. It looks quite cool. It was very badass. And she comes across this guy's land, and I guess they strike a brief friendship or a bond or whatever, even though they kind of call each other out on their crap. Well, her more of him calling out on his crap, because he's the one who's isolated himself from the rest of the world. And what I liked about this episode is that apparently it took place in an area with a deep trench that kept most humans out, but kept this guy and the walkers around him trapped there, along with escaped zoo animals that have apparently been thriving and living just fine on their own out in the wild after escaping a nearby zoo, which I thought was a pretty cool idea, because I'm like, that is an interesting idea. What would happen to zoo animals in the zombie apocalypse? Would they just be left alone to die in their enclosures, or would someone cut them loose and let them run free? I mean, we obviously saw what happened with Shiva the tiger. She was saved by her former caretaker and friend Ezekiel and lived for quite a long time. And Ezekiel even described how he found himself back at the zoo when things started to fall apart. So it's interesting to see animals out running about and surviving, thriving without human interference, which I thought was really interesting. I also loved how, I guess, this guy coped with the trauma of living in the zombie apocalypse by continuing to be a nature documentarian. And then he got a dose of reality when this girl shows up on his doorstep asking for help, then he cures her of eating unripened berries or whatever. And then she tells him that, people are still people, which is something he doesn't want to hear. And it leads to a very interesting ending, which he finds the camp of the people that she had gotten separated from. She found them, but then unfortunately died and turned and became a walker. And I love how we're left with wondering, does he go through with it? Does he put a collar around her neck to make her a tagged walker like he had tagged the walker he was so desperate to get back until there was an alligator or a crocodile chomped down on it? The walker that was his former colleague, fellow scientist, and friend, which is why he was so fixated on it, because it was one of his last connections to people. And now we're left wondering, did he collar her or let her go as a walker? Because he doesn't really kill walkers. He kind of lets them be on their own. And the ending is so open-ended, making us wonder, does he leave her be as a walker and let her wander around forever? Or does he collar and tag her, and does she become one of the many subjects that he continues to research and study? I mean, we've seen people do far worse things, far more inhumane things with walkers throughout this franchise. Studying, tagging, and collaring them for scientific research isn't exactly barbaric, but it does make you wonder just how far is too far with pushing the line. The line being, do you leave someone to live out the rest of their lives as a walker, or do you use them for supposedly productive research? That's how this episode ended, and I think it was an interesting way to end it because it didn't show us if he collared her or not. So we'll see what happens. But I did like this episode. Both actors did a great job, solid emotional performances, and I liked the going back. I liked the theme of nature taking back what belongs to it kind of theme, even though it conflicted with the whole "well, people are still people" theme. So it was a good episode. It really made you think, and you could see both characters' perspectives big time. And I really, really liked the ending of how open-ended it was, leaving up to the imagination of the audience. So what did you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you love it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Tales of the Walking Dead has at least 2 more episodes to go this season, dropping on AMC Plus and AMC, usually a week before and a week after, respectively. So stay tuned for those 2 as well. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.